While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell them. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped.
Man, so he became humble. It made him more humble. It brought him to his knees. He knew exactly what he had, and he was taking these things into account. Like, man, something's happening. I need to take heed. I need to make sure I'm getting right. Because even that too, when another example of a spirit working the people, even Job's wife was tempted. She even said to Job, why not just kill thyself and curse the Most High? And he said, does thou speak as one of these unlearned women? As a foolish woman, because she was a righteous woman. So it shows that a spirit had hopped on her and tried to get him to be like, you know what? That was the whole intention of it, to curse the Most High, to forsake him, not fear him. So but the whole point, the whole thing we've been talking about, these spirits, man, they're not your friend. They're not there. And again, we're going to say it again, that they're very clever. They will make you like that movie Oculus brother was telling me about. Apparently in there, the humans are killing each other. Oh, like I told this brother about a movie, The King of the Avenue. The man he made a deal with the devil, Satan. He asked that he could become king of his neighborhood, and Satan was like, all right, I'm gonna send you somebody who's gonna do your dirty work for you. And he sees these people that he wants out of the way. They are dying, but at the very end of the movie, Satan finally takes away that veil, that spiritual veil around his eyes, to see it was him the whole time. It was him. He was his own greatest demon. So it just tells you, man, how these spirits really work, man, that they'll deceive you and they think you're doing something good or right, but really, man, you're being deceived, you're doing something wrong, you're doing it wrong. That's why this whole holiday, Halloween, man, it even sounds foolish, man. People go out and one of the things they like to do is egg houses, egg cars.
Mischievous acts.
The mischievous acts, man. The scriptures tell you in Proverbs that they cannot sleep except they do mischievous work, but also do not go in the way of sinners because they lie in wait to do mischief. Come on, man. Those are all clues, all signs, man. Don't be observing the things that these other nations do, or to not be observing their customs. But I had this just to top it off, man, with the whole truth. Look at this. This is James chapter 4, verse 4. You adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the Lord is the enemy of God. And that's another thing, man. The whole world celebrates in this. The whole world comes together on that one day and celebrates trick-or-treating, Halloween. It just tells you that to be a friend of the world, you're a friend because you're consulting with the same thing that they're doing.
Condoning.
Condoning. I'm sorry. You're condoning the same thing that they do. And it tells you in Peter's, and if you don't do it, they see you as a strange person. Come on, man. Y'all are simple to not want to believe it. But yet, like I said in Habakkuk, y'all labor in the very fire for vanity. Y'all tire yourselves. Like, you go around the cities and you see how much work they had to put in to decorate their houses, the ones who are really into Halloween. You know, it's like, you can tell, man, it's evil.
This is Romans 12:1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Right, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable will of the Most High, man. You prove it, that we proved to you today. The brother broke it down from head to toe, man, about the doctrine of Halloween. Every single thing has a set wicked origin behind it. It even tells you in Colossians not to do a voluntary humiliating of yourself of angel worship, but you're worshiping these spirits. it's all backwards. You're worshiping death when you're supposed to be worshiping life.
This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 9. Hear Israel the commandments of life, give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth to Israel that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave. Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom.
Yeah, you forsook the fountain of wisdom at the worst thing you did.
The fountain of wisdom is that water. That's that water. And that's what gives life to all life on the earth. Whether it be the plants, the trees, animals, humans. Light, water. Water is a very important source to make life. Right? It's an element on the earth that's very needful. Baruch 3:13. For if thou hadst walked in the way of God, thou shouldst have dwelt in peace forever. Right? And I'm gonna jump down to verse 20. Young men have seen light and dwelt upon the earth, but the way of knowledge they have not known, nor understood the path thereof, nor laid hold of it. Their children were far off from that way. It had not been heard of in Canaan, neither had it been seen in Teman. The Agarenes that seek wisdom upon earth, and the merchants of Meron and of Teman, the authors of fables and searchers out of understanding, none of these have known the way of wisdom or remembered her past.
Right, like it said in Jeremiah chapter 10. I didn't read it, I skipped it. It said that these are all the works of the cunning men. They're the author of lies, man. Like it said in Micah, that they practice evil during the light. They think about next, like we used to bring out the music industry and the Negroes in the rap industry. They have those dances. You know, believe it or not, there's actually people out there that are trying to come up with new dances and everything for these new rap songs. It's just like they got one doctrine after another ready to throw out. Like once they see y'all getting tired of this one, they throw out the next one and the next one to keep you going in the way of wickedness. This is how Halloween is. That's how Esau is. That's how all the nations are. This is that they never even laid hold of the light. They were far off from it. So it should tell you that these feast days are not even close to the worship of the Most High. Not even there, man.
But real quick, like the whole origin of Halloween, it was a serious thing. Today it's serious in the sense of having fun. Back then it was serious. It was scary. These people were in fear, and they were afraid of that day. You people are not afraid of that day, of this day no more. Y'all take it and embrace it. So there is a way of, been a change. I forgot, there was something I was gonna bring out, but I completely forgot. But the origin of it is different from what it is now, as far as the way it's looked upon. Y'all look upon it as a fun day. Back then it was looked upon as a very fearful time. Okay?
But the thing about us men of the Lord and the truth today is we see that day, we know it's an evil day. That's like when we get together, we even tell each other, like, be careful that day, like, you stay inside. There can be a lot of, they're like a bunch of, these holidays are like a bunch of little purges, man. Every holiday, man, something wicked happens in that day. A bunch of orgies, a bunch of killings, a bunch of freak accidents, so-called freak accidents. People just lose their minds on these days, and they believe that because it's a national holiday that they might get away with that crime or whatever they do. You know, they still get arrested, but they end up committing more things than they do on regular days.
There was a lot of mischievous acts that occurred on Halloween.
Yeah.
People are more in tune on the left-hand side than they are in righteousness. You know? So, 1 Peter chapter 4. Verse 1, for as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh, the lust of men, but to the will of God. For the time past of our life may suffice us to have brought the will of the Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries.
Right, okay. No, but see, the different thing about us is that we didn't want to do that. All right, that's what I was going to say. But in the very beginning, we wrought the things of the Gentiles. Okay, so we did it at one point in time, but we didn't want.
Wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of right, speaking evil of you.
Right, because the thing, like I said in the very beginning, like Yahushua did, he separated himself from the world too. Right? He said, seeing that our Lord, how do we say it? Seeing that our Creator or Lord, he said that he has ceased from sin, we must also do the same thing. That's why we're in the truth too, though. We did one point in time, we did the customs of the world, man, but we didn't want it. Every brother can vouch for that, man. So we separated ourselves. But what happens when you do that? You become a prey. You become a prey to these people because their spirit, right? Those demons that they become friends with, they see our spirits now. Like the brother said, they want, and they see it strange. It's a spiritual thing, man. That's what the brother was saying from the beginning. I don't understand that it's a spiritual thing. You don't understand why one day you can see us, but whenever this holiday's hitting, they'll start acting weird around us. It's because our spirits are starting to clash spiritually, and you're seeing something's not right. Your flesh can't understand it, but your spirit does. That's why you start acting all crazy.
This is John chapter 3, verse 11. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and you receive not our witness. If I have told you earthly things, and you believe not, how shall you believe if I tell you of heavenly things?
Right, and Halloween is an earthly thing, man. And it's not even hard to it's not even really, like people go on, like they may be busy on that day. They may have to work, and they don't get the time to celebrate. It's really just like that, man.
Well, check it out real quick. Like the Bible was written by men, right? But they were moved by the Holy Spirit. Men that come up with these doctrines, they're moved by a spirit. So in all essence, it's coming from a spirit, the spiritual realm. Okay? So it's actual spiritual thing. Everything's spiritual. It's just you people fail to look in that aspect. You don't have that spiritual eye. Your pineal gland has been hardened. Okay? You don't have the X-ray vision or that light that shines brighter than the sun. Okay?
That is true. Jeremiah 14:14. And the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart.
So they're moved by, like we read the account of King Ahab and Micah, that a lying spirit came and moved through his prophets to prophesy a lie unto him. So it's a spiritual thing. Halloween is spiritual. It's highly spiritual. All right? Christmas is highly spiritual. And in old times, they knew that it was wicked. And like Saturnalia, or even that whole, when I tell you that the Romans had their day of the Day of the Dead, which was the Ferilia, which what did they do in that time? It was orgies, drunkenness, probably doing it on the graves, you know? Those motherfuckers that were dirty. In Saturnalia, it goes back to the same shit. Orgies, drunkenness, witchcraft. They knew it's wicked. They didn't follow Yahweh. They knew they were going against Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. The Romans knew about Yahweh. They dealt with the Israelites in that time. Why do you think King Agrippa told Paul that you almost persuaded me now to be a Christian? You know? Because they all knew about the Jews, the Israelites. They knew about their power, the creator of all the things that people walk on and eat. So they knew that their customs were evil, but they continued in them. Why? Because they were wicked, they were evil, they were carnal, they weren't the elect. It's like you 2/3. Y'all take part in the with the heathen. Going back to wisdom, or what was it? First Maccabees, where it said some of the Israelites that came up amongst themselves went and asked license from Antiochus Epiphanes if they could build and practice their customs, and that's when they built the gymnasium, which the word gym means naked. You know, that's why back in the Roman times they would work out butt naked amongst with each other, looking at each other, a bunch of faggots, and that's what it is in these gyms. Every man and every woman are looking at each other, looking at the next man's arms or his legs or what have you. That shit like that can probably trick you into being something that you're not, man. But the same Israelites, the Israelites in the time of the Maccabees and the Antiochus Epiphanes, they went to go ask permission from Antiochus Epiphanes if they can have free practice of their customs. You know, so like right here in 1 John or John chapter 3, verse 11 says, "Verily, verily I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and receive not our witness." So we know 2/3 are not going to receive our witness, and this is all that it is, man. It's a testimony. Testifying is a strong thing today in this world of age. This is the age of technology. This is the age of communication. This is the age of highly increased knowledge. And it tells you that in the book of Daniel, chapter 11. The last chapter was it 12 or 11? Chapter 12. I think the 4th verse. That knowledge shall increase. Those are the age. That's the age that we're in right now. We testify the truth. We make known the truth upon hilltops. We are that house that sit upon a hill that shines bright, that lets our light shine. Whether you agree with it or not, we don't give a shit. The Lord is the judge. The Lord is going to judge. We're out here to be prepare the way of the Lord and to satisfy our Lord, the King. Not none of you, man. Not you 2/3.
Which one did you just read?
John.
Okay, never mind. That's the one I was thinking about. Yeah. Yeah, it said, but you receive not my testimony.
You are a witness.
You are a witness, man. And it said, but in the very beginning, you know, it said we speak that we do know, man. We know, man, what's behind these holidays. It's not us just coming out here, man. We took a glass full of drugs and came out and just started talking craziness.
And we're not coming out here just because it's an American thing. Yeah. It's an American thing. No, it's about the origins of what America allows, condones. All right. It's not about because Esau is white. It's not about color. All right. It's not about that. It is about race, because the Bible is about race. Yahweh Shai is a racist, whether you want to believe it or not. We don't care. The scriptures tell us Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is a racist.
This is 1 John chapter 5, verse 19. And we know that we are of the Most High, and the whole world lies in wickedness.
The whole world lies in wickedness, man. Like I use that analogy past time that this earth is like a big haunted house, man. This house is like a haunted house. Revelations 18 tells us this Babylon is like a gate, like a bunch of full of evil and wicked birds, hurtful birds, man. This whole world is very evil, man. It's cloaked. It's cloaked with it's covered with the cloak of wickedness right now. But that, you know, that's what the scriptures say. Like Paul said, we don't come as man think, you know, say we don't come with trying to fight with our flesh, our fist. It's a spiritual warfare, man. And we're here to cast down strongholds and every vain imagination that rises against Yahweh Bashim, the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Where does the knowledge where where is the knowledge of body and is retained in the mind. So this is the mind of the